Hi all, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with unit 8 of Mmpc 009. In last section, we covered unit 7 and unit 8 is planning and control of projects. So, objectives of these units are describe the project in terms of its activities, represent the interrelationship among the activities as network and differentiate between CPM and PERT. Compute activity time, critical path and slacks. Use the above information for time management of the project and as PERT, that is PERT, when activity time are probabilistics, and specify project cost curve and crashing of the activities for reduction in the time duration of the project and the schedule resources. So these are the objectives of this unit. And structure of this unit are there is an introduction part, project, network representation of project, time management of the project and critical path method, that is CPM. And 8.6 is program evaluation and review technique, that is PERT. And time cost relationship and project crashing, resource allocation, project updating and monitoring, summary of this unit and keyword section, self-assessment exercise also here in this unit. Okay, so let's begin with the introduction part of this unit. And we are sure that both in your professional career and in your personal life you have handled projects, right? In this unit we will deal with efficient management of project, and we will describe a project as consisting of interrelated activities. Networks will be used as visualization of this interrelationship. A successful implementation of the project will be involving planning, coordination and control of the activities constituting the project. So here we will discuss time management of project using critical path method, and subsequently in the situation where activity time are probabilistic and program evaluation and review technique, that is PERT. And we shall also describe the relationship between cost and time for implementation of the project, and each project involves consumption of certain raw material and use of certain resources. And we shall briefly look into the resource allocation problem, and while this unit will outline method and techniques which are useful in project management, a successful implementation of a project will depend on the skill and efficiency of the manager in using these techniques. Okay, so next is project. What is project? Before we formally define project, it will be a good idea if you describe in your own words your impression of the word project. So there is a preparing tea and arranging for a tea party, that's also a task or a project. Okay, right. So we will call arranging for a tea party as a project, while we will refer to individual tasks such as preparing tea as activities. So here is an example: procure material, arrangement of cutlery and prepare snacks, prepare tea, serve tea, set a table with the snacks and cutlery, clean cutlery, etc. Right. For that is the activities in this project, that is the tea party is the project. And then there is an observation part is there in that project, right? So this is an example for the what is project. And next is network preparation of project. First step in the management of the project is to understand the interrelationship between the various activities which constitute the project. And the activities may be interlinked with each other in various ways. For example, the activities preparation of tea and preparation of snacks may be interlinked with each other by the type of resource required. On the other hand, the activity serving tea cannot be started unless and until the activity preparation of tea is completed. Unlike the other example, this dependence cannot be freed by providing additional resources. And thus in any feasible time schedule, activity serving tea has to be scheduled only after the completion of the activity preparation of tea. So this kind of interdependent will be referred to as the precedence or requirement. Okay, drawing project network. And the input required to draw project network is the list of the activity and their precedence requirements. And when considering the precedence requirement, only the immediate preceding activity will be listed. So there are also called immediate precedence, or consider the precedence requirement for example 1. Okay, so activity in a network. Okay, so here is a figure. And if an activity A precedes another activity B, then the end row node, that is circle of activity A, is merged with the start node, that is activity B. So thus the following diagram will be represent the precedence requirement. Okay, so precedence representation, there is three way, and if an activity such as activity E in the project arrangement, a T party has more than one precedence, that is B, D. In this case, the end point of all the precedents are merged with the start node of the activity. And so that is in the figure 3. And 4 is there. Using the above method, the project network for the project arrangement T party is figure 4 is there, that is preparing T. And for further convenience, the starting node of all the activity with no precedents are joined together, as they can be started at the same time. With this modification, the network will look like as follows. Okay, so this is just an example, you can create your own way. Okay, so here is increased present representation, example 8.2. The dotted arrow are called dummy activity and are activities which they take 0 time. Okay, and node labeling, what is node labeling? Once the network is drawn, it is a good practice to label the event systematically. Okay, so that is node labeling, and this is how to manage a project network for the above activities. Next is time management of the project, how to manage the time, that's also important. Right. One of the major requirement of the project management is a feasible time scheduling of the various activities with the objectives that project is completed at the earliest possible time. And feasibility of time schedule will require that an activity be scheduled only when all its predecessors are scheduled. For preparation of such a schedule, information will be needed about the duration in which the various activities can be completed. The duration of each activity is referred to as activity time, and depending on the nature of the activity time, the project will get classified into two categories, that is projects in which activity time can be estimated with sufficient certainty, for example building a house or erecting a plant, and project in which there is high degree of uncertainty about the activity time. For example, launching a space vehicle, developing a new product, etc. And the time management of the project is the first case, that is usually done by using critical path method, that is CPM. And in the second case, using program evaluation and review technique, that is PERT. And as an exercise, let us consider a simple activity like preparing tea and estimate activity time for this activity, and clearly write down the method which you have used for arriving at this estimate, and repeat this for the following activities. There is changing punctures wheel of a scooter, getting a check and cash from the bank, traveling from your home to office. So these are the examples. Next is critical path method, what is CPM. So in this method, it is assumed that activity duration are deterministic or are known with certainty. The method will be compute the earliest possible start time and latest possible start time for each activity. In addition, it will identify the critical activities. These activities are critical in the sense that if completion of any of these activities is delayed even by a short period of time, the whole project will be delayed. And for other activities will be computed, which will give us some idea of the relative importance of these activities in terms of their time management. Okay, so here is a figure, network with activity time, for example 8.2, based on that. And computation of early start and early finish time for the activities. So please refer, this is based on the equation, here is explained below what is path critical path method. Okay, so please go through this from your Igno study material Mmpc 009, and all things explained in the this section. Okay, so and computation activity of time is here, and based on the table, and slack is used for event and float of activities, And in some cases, it may be useful to compute free slack, that is float, which is the slack available in an activity such that early start of the successor are not affected. Okay, and so this is about today's section. Next section we will discuss on next video, and the total slack and free slack can be effectively used for better management of the project. Okay, for example, if there is a resource constraint, then it will be better to allocate resource first to activities with a zero or small slacks. Okay, so this is about today's session. For more videos, you just do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
i-tutor Academy presents Ignoumbajourney complete syllabus coverage classes for individual students, semester-wise subject with online and flexible timing. For more details, contact on +916 238 217 885.